Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So if you can solve this puzzle, you are at least a 1500 plus rated player. We are continuing in our series. This is puzzle number 2. It is white to play. See if you can find the correct continuation for white. Pause the video now. Okay, so no mini lesson, no new material or concepts that I wanted to discuss in this video, but I simply wanted to piggyback off of puzzle number 1 in this new series that I just posted actually just a little while ago, and that is forcing moves. And one of the best types of forcing moves is giving a check, of course. So this is going to feature something that I'm always hammering home with my students and talking about is when you're in the end game and your opponent's king is wide out in the middle of the desert with no coverage, you need to have the mindset that every single move comes with check. Do not let that king off of the hook. And if you're in a tight time scramble and your time is low and you're playing with increment, a lot of times it's good just to give a bunch of checks just to build some time back on your clock. So for the solution, obviously we're going to promote our A pawn to a queen check. Black has one move. They have to block with queen to F8. And now we have to keep giving checks. So this is a pretty cool puzzle here. We're going to start our famous staircase structure here. So we're going to give checks and we're going to build a staircase here on the dark squares and on the light squares. And we're going to do this little staircase maneuver and just kind of walk our queen up. So she might be a little bit tired by the time she's done. We're going to give a check on A2. The black queen cannot block because that would be a mate in 2. So the king has to go in the corner. And now we're going to start our little staircase, continuing to give checks. Again, the queen can never block in any of these staircase checks because we'll just simply take that. So the king has to shuffle back and forth between G8 and H8. We continue up the staircase like so. Check, check, check. And now we cannot go to the D5 square because obviously black's pawn is defending that. Okay, so if you were not able to solve the puzzle up to this point, I'll give you another shot at it. So pause the video. What would you play here as white? Pause now. Okay, so I did not mention this in the list of different types of forcing moves in video puzzle number 1, but another type of forcing move is a move that you play that puts your opponent in Zugzwang. I hope I pronounced that correctly this time. So the correct move here is we don't have any more meaningful checks. We're going to play queen to D7, and there is no move here for black. So we're threatening checkmate here on H7, of course. And, you know, obviously any pawn move would result in an instant checkmate. And so there's no move for black. They're in Zugzwang. So let's practice our counting the number of checks. How many checks does black have with the queen in this position? So I count 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different checks to prolong the inevitable. But you'll notice that any of those 7 moves that the black queen goes to, we can simply take it. And if the queen goes to either of these 2 squares, then that's just going to result in an instant checkmate. So this is a forced mate in 3. And again, it's forced even though we haven't played one of the forcing moves that we talked about in the previous list, but they're in Zugzwang. So the only thing they can do, the best possible, the most resistance the black can put up, is to simply play queen to H6 to get the king off of this G6 square. So we take that, the king has to go here or that's mate, and we put the king back on G6, and no matter what the black king does, if it stays there, that's mate. If it goes here, then we have a couple of different types of checkmate. So very, very cool puzzle with this nice little theme of the infamous staircase. And some of you guys may have been thinking, oh, well, if all I needed to do was to get to the 7th rank, to put them in Zugzwang, then why couldn't I do that immediately? Why couldn't I do that right out of the gate? After I promote the pawn, why can't I just immediately go to one of these 2 squares? Isn't that the same thing? And the answer is no, because black has queen to E8 check. And that is why we had to do our staircase to get all the way down here so that by the time the queen got to the top of the staircase in the style of Rocky, I think she's pretty tired here. Yep, that's me if I try to run. So we had to get to the D4 square so we could go queen to D7, and now black does not have this E8 square to give the check on. So pretty cool. Another example of some nice forcing moves, and that is it for this one. Hey, thanks for watching. If you think these videos are helpful and you would like me to continue posting them, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.